Hey guys, it's Rob here. Today, we're going over a location that's similar to the last one we covered, Evansville, Indiana. While it's similar to Dearborn, there's a couple differences that make this one unique, which we'll get into later. For now, I want to thank Devon Noel 6444, or Devon Noel, for requesting this location. As usual, I've gathered information from multiple different sources, which I'll be linking in the description. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as in the next Chuck E. Cheese video, we'll be covering an area with the most locations I've covered in this history series. Anyways, let's get into the history of Showbiz Pizza Place and Chuck E. Cheese in Evansville, Indiana. The 5-5 N Green River Road location was announced to be opening in the Eastland Place in mid-1982, and opened on December 21st, 1982 as the Showbiz Pizza Place. To any who watched the last history video, yes, that's the same opening day as Dearborn, Michigan, which is very interesting. Like Dearborn, it was the 8th Showbiz Pizza to open in state, in this case being the 8th location to open in Indiana. It was also a corporate-owned store, which is what it remains to be today. Unlike Dearborn, however, I was actually able to find a bit of info of this location as a Showbiz Pizza Place, and even have a few photos to share. Let's start with this news article I found on newspapers.com. This article is from a bit after the opening, and gives us some info on what the store was like upon opening. For one, it was the 139th Showbiz to open. The manager of the store at the time was Jeff Lynch. The location also employed about 70 employees. Finally, there's a photo showing off the showroom, with the center stage being open and the rocket fire explosion performing. As expected, by this point, the newer cosmetics were used, too, nowadays, were being used here. Aside from that, there's not much, though in late 1984, Ron Lyles became the sales manager for the location during that time. Aside from that, though, there's not really anything that I could find, and it seems the location stayed largely the same for the rest of its time as a Showbiz Pizza Place. Beginning in 1989, due to a fallout between Creative Engineering and Showbiz Pizza Time Inc., concept unification occurred, in which every Showbiz Pizza Place will convert their Rockafire Explosion band into Munch's Make Believe band. Evansville would be one of the vast majority of locations to undergo this change, with a newspaper article stating that they received it in September of 1991. This article also tells us that the assistant manager at this point was John Cook. In 1992, this location received the 1988 remodel, removing all Showbiz Pizza decor for newer decor, added blue and white awnings, and also added the color checkers. In the mid-90s, this location received a minor remodel that got rid of some of the older CU decor in favor of the record posters and the colored chase lights. In the late 90s, this location received the major 90s remodel, which saw the removal of older decor for newer decor, getting rid of the blue and white awnings and the checkers, and the addition of the sky tubes and the taller zone. Unfortunately, I was unable to find any photos or videos of the location during this time. For the first half of the 2000s, there probably weren't really any changes to the location. We have no clue if they got rid of Munch Jr. or Pizza Cam during this time or not. Between 2006 and 2007, this location received the 2005 update to the 2003 Kolchak reconfiguration, also known as Phase 4. This saw the removal of older decor and the addition of newer decor, the removal of the showroom walls, the removal of the balcony seating, removed the taller zone, relocated some of the games, the kitchen, and the sky tubes. This wasn't all, though. The biggest change came from the stage setup. The entire 3 stage was removed and a Studio C Kappa replaced it, stage and all. Which means, yes, there are no photos or videos I could find online of the 3 stage after it received CU. What makes this a more unique trait is that, for the most part, Studio C animatronics stopped replacing 3 stages in the early 2000s. While Dearborn is more unique, as that show was replaced much later on, this replacement is still unique as I don't believe many locations had their 3 stage replaced with a Studio C Kappa specifically. Usually alphas and betas replace them. This Kappa did not come from another location, and was the last of that variant of the Kappa to be installed. Unfortunately, videos on this location are quite sparse, and I had to do more digging than usual to find anything, especially the Kappa stage. I did find some stuff though. Starting in 2012, we get a good look at a couple of things. The first being the Studio C Kappa itself, which looks to be in good shape and is wearing Avenger attire. I'm not sure if the hat is on here, though it looks like it since you can sorta see the shape of it. We also get to see one of the older Studio C features in action, as the birthday star's face appears on one of the 3 screens. We also get to see some Avenger tickets, which is cool since 2012 would have started to see the phasing out of Avenger Chuck. In 2013, Rockstar Chuck would be phased into stores properly with a new walk-around costume replacing the Avenger one, and I suspect Evansville would have received it as well this year. Aside from that, though, we don't really see much else change from the store. The next video I could find was from 6 years later in 2019, which shows the Kappa performing. By this point, we see that it still has the Avenger Chuck shirt on, but no cap, and the Avenger shorts were replaced by Rockstar pants. Condition-wise, it seems to be working well here, which is nice to see, I guess. Store tour from the same channel 1 year later gives us a look into the games, the artwork, and a brief look at the animatronic, which wasn't moving here. As expected, it's mostly standard Phase 4 stuff, though what was interesting was seeing these stained glass looking windows, which I don't think I've seen in a location before, which are interesting to say the least. Sometime around this time, the Sky Tubes would be removed from the location, likely due to a certain pandemic. Less than 2 years later, in April of 2022, the location would start its 2.0 remodel. This saw the complete remodel of the exterior and interior, with the most notable change being the removal of the Pseudo C Kappa and its stage, and replacing it with the 2021 model dance floor and video wall. The Studio C Kappa from this location would be destroyed after being removed. As of January of 2024, the location remains like this. Honestly, although it's unfortunate we lost another stage, I feel it's a lot more unfortunate that we lost a 3 stage to a Studio C Kappa. In conclusion, Evansville is a somewhat interesting location that is somewhat unique for having their 3 stage replaced by a Studio C Kappa, after which the store became pretty standard and basic. Again, I think the real loss here was a 3 stage, not the Studio C Kappa. Overall, that one trait makes this location somewhat interesting, but without any photos or videos, especially of the 3 stage, there's not a whole lot to be interested in here. Thank you guys for watching this video. Going in, I thought this video would be similar to Dearborn, and it kinda was, though Dearborn had some stuff I was actually able to go for. I guess I can't be surprised though, since not many people probably care to document a Phase 4 location with a Studio C Kappa. My next video is going to be covering the largest area I've ever covered, Houston, Texas. We're going to be doing it in 3 parts, with each video covering 3 locations for a total of 9. While I know there's more locations than that, I'm focusing on locations that have some info on them, as otherwise I'd be including locations with nothing on them. If you're interested in seeing that, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you're notified when that drops. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.